Hello, this is Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is, and we're gonna get right into it. And we are going to start with the soccer recap for November 3, 4, 5, and 6 from Friday games for Darmstadt versus Bochum to Monday game for Tottenham versus Chelsea in the English Premier League. So we're just gonna recap this. There were two games that came through. I'm gonna recap that at the end of the soccer recap. We're gonna start with the games that didn't come true. Thought Tottenham could beat Chelsea by 2 goals. That was not the case. Two red cards, and it ended Chelsea 4, Tottenham 1. We had Valencia versus Granada in the Spanish league. Was counting on Valencia at home, winning by 3 goals. Didn't come through. They won by just one, still better. But that didn't come through on that peak. CD Alaves at home to Almeria, which I think is the worst team in the Spanish league. Put CD Alaves to score 4 goals. They did win the game 1-0. They didn't score the 4 goals we needed. Nottingham Forest at home versus Aston Villa. Thought Aston Villa could come in and score 2, 3, and 4 goals. Didn't happen that way. Came up short 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Darmstadt versus Bochum, two horrible teams in the German Bundesliga. Thought they could combine for 6 goals and Bochum to score 3 goals. Bochum did win the game against Darmstadt 2-1, but they didn't score that many goals. And Sheffield United versus Wolves, thought Wolves could come in and win by 2 goals or score 4 goals as well. They did actually go into Sheffield United, and Sheffield United got their first win of the season in the English Premier League. And for the two games that had some success, at home, Union Berlin was hosting Eintracht Frankfurt. Thought Frankfurt could go into Union and win comfortably, but at least two. They did win 3-0. Union with 12 basically straight losses after that game. Or rather have not won in 12 straight games, even though they are actually in the Champions League. Also, Burnley at home versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace won 2-0. Thought they could win by 2 and score 3 goals possibly. They did win by 2 for one unit at odds of 5.5. So there were two games that came through. At odds of 6 and 5.5, that's 11.5 units. 12 units were placed, a lot of games, and that came to a negative 0.5. And in total, now it's still positive 18.68 units for soccer. And now to American football, it was all Reds. American football really have tight games, so difficult to find high odds. So basically, Cowboys at the Eagles to score over 60. That didn't happen. Scored 51. Bills and Bengals to score over 62. Ended at 42. Vikings at Falcons, for the Falcons to win that game comfortably. A new Even though the Vikings lost their quarterback in Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs came in and beat Falcons 31-28. Bears at the Chicago Bears at the New Orleans Saints for Saints to win comfortably. Of course, Saints did what the Saints did. Horrible offense all year. Won 24-17 and didn't cover comfortably. And the Dolphins at Chiefs at Frankfurt, Germany to score over 63. That didn't go down that way at all. Ended 14-21 for that. So 5 units, none came through. And right now for NFL, minus 12.27 units. And for basketball, they just started for last week, November 3. Basically, 3 games on Friday for the NBA in-season tournaments. One successful game, Warriors at Thunders. Fun game, went to overtime. Actually, didn't go to overtime, but really high scoring. And that was a successful game. Put alternative first half points over 120 on 2 units that came through. They scored 67-67, 137 at halftime. Ended up at 280. That's crazy. For the Warriors at the Thunder, the other 2 games came up short. Wizards at Heat. For halftime to score over 120, they did score 114. For the full game, went comfortably over at 114, 121, way over the 226.5. And the New York Knicks to win Milwaukee Bucks at the Bucks. That didn't come through. The Bucks did win by 5 points. New York kept it close, but could have upset the Milwaukee Bucks for that game. So that was a good week. 2 units, 7.51, 5 units placed. And in total now for basketball, 0 minus 0. 5. Basically, we're getting started with basketball, getting interesting. So let's get right into this week's picks and starts with soccer. We're gonna go quickly. Few picks for this week. Mainly upsets all around. Two big upsets out here. Valencia to go into Real Madrid's home and win Real Madrid. Possibly coming out of the Champions League. Valencia having a rest and playing well recently. Brentford going into Liverpool and winning them. Liverpool was disappointing against Luton. Brentford can also come in here, even though Liverpool barely loses at home and maybe creates the upset at also 6.5 against Liverpool at Liverpool's home. Targeting Almeria will be at home to Real Sociedad. I know Sociedad played in Europe, but I think they can come here and win by 3 goals. I just think Almeria is horrible, and then a good team can maybe dominate them. Bremen at home against Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt is pretty good, but they're coming into Bremen's home, coming from Europe. I think an upset for Bremen and maybe win by 2 goals for that game. And Darmstadt versus Mainz, 2 horrible teams, two poor defenses at the bottom of the table to combine for 5 goals in that game a unit, all for 1 unit for the week. And then to American football, there's not a lot of going on here. There's poor quarterback play. The totals are at 37 or less for about at least 8 games. So here I'm just picking a game in a dome. The Saints are the Vikings. Don't like it much. The score over 56, also 7, 1 unit, and that's all for the week. For NFL, it's just injured quarterbacks, poor quarterbacks plays, and not a lot of points coming through, so very difficult to handicap. And then we're going to basketball, and all of this is just for November 10, the NBA in-season tournament, flashy cards, interesting. So we're going to start with the OKC Thunder at Sacramento Kings, total 232 spread for the Kings to win by 2.5 points. They're going to be missing De'Aaron Fox. Injuries are very important in the NBA, so doing this early, not going to get a lot of that injury information. I'm going to take the Thunder here to upset the Kings at home by about 7 points, 2 units. Timberwolves going into the Spurs, favored by 6. Away game tough, but I think Timberwolves is playing well. The Spurs are really inexperienced. Timberwolves goes in, wins them by over 16 points, 1 unit. The Pelicans are the Rockets. This is assuming that Zion Williamson wouldn't play. The Rockets at home, first half win by about 8. They're playing good defense. Ime Udoka is actually getting through to them now. That's interesting to see upsetting the Pelicans, but this is just for the first half. The Brooklyn Nets at the Boston Celtics at home. Boston favored by 10 to 24. The Celtics first half point spread to win by 12. I'm just thinking that Celtics coming here start really fast and can slow down in the second half, but come in, start fast, beat the Nets comfortably in the first half by 12, possibly 2 units. Hornets at Wizards, or total 242 spread. Wizards to win by 2. They just played 2 days ago, scored 248 combined. I'll say first half here go over to 128. 2 units for both teams. High. The top 5 in pace for both teams, and top 5 also at the bottom of defense for both teams in the NBA. So this is the in-season tournament every Friday till December, mid-December, when they will play the championship games. Right now it's doing for every Friday. We'll see how this goes. Thanks everyone. Peace.